Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. Julian here for another episode. It's the very last waiver wire episode for a lot of you guys. This is week 24, the fantasy finals in most leagues. If you've made it this far, absolutely great job this year, guys. You just got to make the right ads and the right moves this one final week, and you could be a fantasy hockey champion. Obviously, for some of you, it's also the semifinals, which give yourself a pat on the back for making it there. And I will have coverage for waiver wire for next week as well, so don't worry about that. So good luck in all of your matchups this week, guys. And let's jump right into the schedule for this week. And on Monday, March 31st, there are 4 games. Tuesday, there are 10. Wednesday, 5. Thursday, 9. Friday, 3. Saturday, 13. And Sunday, 8. So officially, the off nights are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But Sunday is also pretty not that busy of a day. So there's probably room in your schedule. Just check that. And honestly, the only day that's really that busy is Saturday. But still, you could have a full schedule Tuesday and Thursday. So be sure to check what you can fit in your lineup before you start adding players. So who has a good schedule this week? Well, teams that play 4 games are Boston, Calgary, Colorado, Columbus, Dallas, Florida, Minnesota, Montreal, Nashville, Ottawa, Vegas, and Washington. Off days, Minnesota has the king schedule. They play Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and also play on the not that busy night of Sunday. Colorado and Washington play 2 off days out of 3 each. Colorado, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Washington, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Both very good schedules. There are a couple teams that also have 2 off days, but only 3 games total, being Seattle, Carolina, and Chicago. Teams with a bad schedule are New Jersey, New York Rangers, Philadelphia, and Toronto because they only play 2 games apiece. So if you're holding on to a lot of Leafs or Flyers or Devils or Rangers, it's going to be a tough week for you. You're going to have to work really hard with your ads to make sure that you can still win this week. In terms of forwards that you should be adding, Pierre-Luc Dubois of the Washington Capitals has been phenomenal, playing on the top line and top power play and posting plenty of points. Yuri Slafkovsky is doing really well right now in Montreal, putting a very safe floor with shots and hits, and is putting quite a bit of points and power play points up lately. Brock Nelson of the Colorado Avalanche is not on their top power play, but has been putting up points lately. And as long as he's doing that, and the Avs do have a good schedule this week, so makes him a good ad in a shallow league if he's available. Nichushkin is also an incredible ad. I don't know how he's still only 62% owned, but anyway, he is top power play in Colorado and absolutely can go off. Alexei Protas of the Washington Capitals is up to 59% rostered. Top 6 deployment in Washington has been phenomenal all year, putting up points. He's definitely a great ad on a week that Washington has a great schedule. Jonathan Huberdeau of the Calgary Flames, up to 55% rostered, is kind of carrying the team on his back a little bit. Honestly, he's playing really well for the Flames, and the Flames are really trying to make the playoffs here. So he is a key player there, and he's going to continue to play well. Otherwise, the Flames are not going to be making the playoffs. That's not a bad ad there. Matt Zuccarello of the Minnesota Wild is one of the best players over there in Minnesota, especially with Kaprizov injured. He's getting great deployment, top power play, top line, and with a week that Minnesota has the schedule that they do, Zuccarello is a great ad. Pavel Dorofeyev of the Vegas Golden Knights, still top power play, still shooting the puck a hell of a lot. I like him a lot. JJ Peterka, top line, top power play, putting up points. I like him a lot. Braden Shen, had him last week. I have him again this week. He's still hot. He's still a good ad. Marco Rossi, like I said, Minnesota has a great ad, and he's pretty much been playing top line and top power play. And as long as he has that great deployment and Minnesota has that schedule, he is a great ad. Jonathan Drouin is playing on the top power play in Colorado. It's a great spot to be in, and Colorado has a great schedule. Taylor Hall has been kind of going off lately. He's now getting power play time, and with the way he's playing, it's kind of hard not to add him, especially since Carolina has a pretty decent schedule. Make sure you can fit him in your lineup, but if you can, that's a good ad. Pius Suter of the Vancouver Canucks is kind of getting some great deployment right now, like top line, top power play, because Pettersson and Höglander are injured. meaning that he's kind of the guy right now as the number one center kind of in Vancouver because Hedl is also injured. Mackie Samoskevich of the Florida Panthers. Florida has a much better schedule this week, and Samoskevich has been getting top 6 deployment. With Marchand coming back, he could get demoted a little bit, but definitely keep your eye on the rest of this week to see if he's still going to be keeping up his points and safe floor. Brian Hartman of the Minnesota Wild, 11% rostered, is only getting third line center time, but with the schedule that Minnesota has, I don't mind that ad. He's still putting up decent floor with shots and hits, and definitely can put up some points. Ryan McLeod of the Buffalo Sabres has 13 points in his last 11 games. He's absolutely going off, including a game recently with a goal and 3 assists. He's playing on the second line with JJ Peterka, and the way he's playing, Buffalo has also rewarded him with a spot on the top power play. It's pretty appealing right now, and definitely could be someone that can continue to produce in your fantasy playoffs. Now, Matt Coronato is someone who's also kind of going off lately. In his last 5 games, he's got 6 points, including 4 goals. He's also playing on what is arguably the top line with Jonathan Huberdeau and the top power play in Calgary. With that kind of deployment, and now the fact that he's starting to produce, it's not a bad ad in a deep league. This next guy is another no-brainer ad in a deep league. He's playing on the top line and top power play in St. Louis. That's Zach Bolduc, guys. He is really impressing as of late. Not only has he been scoring a boatload of points and goals, he has been getting you a pretty freaking safe floor every single night because he has been hitting a good amount. I like Zach Bolduc a lot, and he's definitely someone that can help you in these fantasy finals. And finally, if you're in a super deep league and you just need someone for those off nights, Vinny Hinostroza may be not a great option, but it may not be the worst option considering that he's playing on the top power play in Minnesota. He's also playing with Ryan Hartman, who's decently hot right now. And with that kind of deployment, 0% rostered, he is a dart throw that could potentially pay off. In terms of defensemen, Drew Doughty of the LA Kings, 69% rostered, is the top power play guy over there and is starting to do much better. Shane Gostisbehere of the Carolina Hurricanes is playing top power play over there, definitely can score you some points. Justin Falk putting up a decently safe floor and recently putting up lots of points. Hopefully he can continue that because most of the season he has been pretty bad, but definitely good in a pinch. Jared Spurgeon is your priority defenseman ad. If you are looking for a D-man, Spurgeon is your guy. He was just promoted to the top power play in Minnesota and has been scoring decent points and decent peripherals. Luke Shen of the Winnipeg Jets has also been really good since being traded to Winnipeg. Don't expect any kind of offense from him, but the floor is really good with the hits and some block. Tony DeAngelo is playing on the top power play. Noah Dobson is there too, but they're both there, and he has been scoring quite a bit of points lately. If he doesn't score a point, he's probably a bust in your lineup on any given night. So he's a little bit risky, but he is someone who's been pretty decent lately. Philip Broberg is really a scary pickup. You can pick him up and he can do like he did the other night and get 4 points, or he can do absolutely nothing and post a massive donut in your lineup. He is really a Hail Mary play. Leon Bichelle of the Dallas Stars, I like him for the safe floor that he provides. Artem Levshinov is the top power play guy in Chicago. Has been putting up some points, so not the worst ad in the world, but don't expect too much from him. And finally, Matt Grzelcyk is the top power play guy in Pittsburgh. He's also a massive donut machine, so if he doesn't put up a point for you on any given night, he's probably not doing a whole lot either to give you a safe floor. If you're looking for a safe floor, this is not the guy to add. Turns to goalies, Samuel Montembeault of the Montreal Canadiens, 69% rostered, starting most of the games in Montreal. Frederik Andersen, starting every second game for Carolina and has been phenomenal. Lankinen is back and healthy and should be starting about every second game in Vancouver. Demko is also probably starting every second game in Vancouver if he's available. Dahlstell and Gibson should be splitting starts, although Gibson has been playing a little bit better as of late, so the night of this recording, he's starting his second game straight. Karel Vejmelka, they are just riding this guy until he like dies or something, because they're starting him on a back-to-back after he just tanked 2 games in a row. He is a bit of a risky start, but he is getting the starts. If you need volume, that's an option. Elvis Merzlikins of the Columbus Blue Jackets is the starter in Columbus and should be getting the volume over there. Tristan Jarry, they started him again after that horrible outing, and he had another horrible outing. He's a very, very risky ad, but it seems like they're really wanting to start this guy so that they can maybe, hopefully, have him play a few good games and have him gain value. Yeah, not my favorite option. Is really a last-ditch option to grab Tristan Jarry right now. Spencer Knight of the Chicago Blackhawks is the starter over there. Vitek Vanacek is actually someone I like a lot this week because Florida has 2 sets of back-to-back games, and obviously the Panthers are a great team, so Vanacek could easily get 2 wins and some solid save percentages. Is Alex Lyon the guy in Detroit now? With Mrazek injured and Talbot really not playing well, Alex Lyon could be the guy relied upon in Detroit. It's a bit of a risky ad, but if you're in a bind and you really need a goalie, he could be a guy for you. Dan Vladar of the Calgary Flames, he is not the starter there at all. Obviously, it is Wolf getting almost every start in Calgary. I have him here with a star next to his name because Calgary plays a back-to-back set Monday and Tuesday. If you have room for a goalie on both of those nights, Dan Vladar could be an option because, well, he's going to get one of those 2 starts, and in a points league, that's not a bad option. Calgary definitely could get the win considering how hard they are playing and pushing for a playoff spot right now. And finally, James Reimer of the Buffalo Sabres has actually started 3 games in a row for Buffalo. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, or as I like to call him, 6K, has not been playing well. So they have been giving starts to Reimer, and he has won 3 in a row. I think as long as he's winning, they might continue to start him. If you're in a deep league, you could take a shot at Reimer. Just as soon as he loses, they probably go back to 6K. And that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, drop a like and hit that subscribe button. And I want to wish you guys all the best luck in your fantasy finals or semifinals if that's the case for you this week. I hope that this advice helps you make the right ads and take home that fantasy hockey championship. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.